This video, like I said, I'm going to be doing a bit of a walkthrough, and I want to do that so that people really understand and get an idea of what's on the inside of our course and in the back end of the portal. Because it's one thing for us to just say, okay, look, we've got this many modules, got this many lessons, and this is what we cover. But it's another thing altogether to get into the back end and actually, dive in and have a look at what's there. So that's the reason for this video. I'm going to dive into the back end now. I'm going to go through a bit of a screen share and show you what's in the back end and what you actually get in the Dropship Downunder 2.0 course. So we'll jump in there now. So when you land in the back end, you will be seeing the course portal that all of the students, this is what they see. Okay, so we actually have 82 lessons, and it's stretched out over 12 modules. Now we've got a course introduction that covers some of the, I guess you call it, housekeeping and all of those sorts of things. And then we go through down to module 1. So this is where we cover setting up your dropshipping business right here in Australia, because what happens is a lot of people that are interested in dropshipping or starting a business in general, they actually find it difficult to take that first step because they don't really have any idea of where to begin. So that's why with this first module, we've put this in. So it really helps guide people on where to go to get their ABN, how to get it, how to register their business name, all of those sort of simple things about getting a business up and running that they do seem simple to me or to somebody else that's actually started their own business before, but anyone just starting out might not have any idea of where to go. So this is good for anyone that's just starting out. Go through to module 2. And it's niche selection. So if I click on this, it'll open up this module and you'll see all the lessons listed here on the right hand side, and it by default just goes to lesson 1. So this is where the trainings are. You actually can click on these and go through the trainings and apply all of the stuff that we teach you. Underneath that, we have explanations, and any of the links that we provide to different things will be included at the bottom here, and you can make comments on the course, etc. And obviously us as instructors here. So look, niche selection is one of those things that it is really, really important to get right the first time around, because essentially you're building an entire business around what you've chosen here in this module. So it's really important to make sure you get this right. And that's why niche selection, a lot of people struggle with it because it is such a big decision and it does dictate the direction of your business in the long run. So that's why we've delved heavily into the niche selection criteria here. So we cover high ticket products. We go into niche price point, brand loyalty, target market, the actual ideal products for dropshipping and high ticket dropshipping. So we do go into that fairly heavily here in lesson 5 as well. So by the end of it, you should have quite a few different ideas of what niches you are looking to go with. So this final lesson here is where we help you brainstorm to find different niches and find different ideas to actually start your business for. All right, so it's one thing to get a list of niches and decide, look, these all sort of fit the criteria above, but we need to test those too. So if we go to the next category, we need to do some research to see whether they are actually going to be a good, viable niche. So this whole module here, module 3, Australian market research, that's what this entire module is about. So like I said, it's good to find a niche or several that you want to have a look at and see if they're going to be viable. That's all good, but you actually need to research to see if they are viable. And that's what all of these lessons here are about. Okay, so we've got over 11 lessons. There's 12 total. Just going through all of the research criteria and methods that we have to help you determine whether that is going to be a viable niche to move forward with. So we go into a bit of an introduction. We've got lesson 1, keyword research tools, competition PLAs in lesson 2. Lesson 3 is Australian eBay and Amazon sales volumes, direct competition. They can help you determine whether your niche is viable. Utilizing Google Trends. and then narrowing your niches down. So like I said, these are all tools to research whether your niche is actually going to be viable, and then we start to narrow them down from what we've just found in those previous lessons there. All right. Lesson 7 through 9 is supplier research, because obviously you need to have suppliers for your products. So if all of those criteria have been met previously, that's all good. But if there's no suppliers, it's not really going to work, is it? So we're going to supplier research in those few lessons, and in lesson 10, how to find those. We also talk about the dropship directories that actually advertise themselves as dropshippers. Lesson 12. So in lesson 12, this is actually where we decide what our niche is going to be, how to cut off all the rest of them and move forward with one. Okay, because a lot of people get niche paralysis, like I like to call it. They just don't know where to go from the short list that they've got. They've done all their research. They know that there's a few that are kind of fit and are going to work well, but they've just got that niche paralysis. They can't pull the trigger and move forward. So lesson 12, that's what we discuss. Next category is building our store. Now this is, I'm not going to go through and explain every single lesson here, but the overall sentiment with this module really is giving people a step-by-step process to follow, so it's done in the correct way, so that you get a finished store ready to upload your supplier's products. Okay, so all of these lessons are set out in order for a reason. So we do the introduction, Shopify walkthrough, how to get your domain, installing your theme and where to get it, creating collections, creating products, adding pages and menus. I've set this out in this order, so that it's all done in the right way. So you're not backtracking and trying to fix things as you go. So all of these are done in a certain order for a reason. All right, so it goes through to menus. The Shopify settings are all explained. We are going to customizing the theme, Shopify apps, how to do discount codes. And as you get towards the end of the build, and you're going to want to start doing test orders to make sure that your website's complete and it's up and running to the standard it needs to be at, so a test order goes through successfully. And then I explain, obviously, customers, reports, and analytics. So as you move forward and you're making sales, etc., you need to know how to do all that, as well as your custom email, so you have a professional look. And lesson 15 is optimizing. So that's moving forward after you've got the store complete, and how to optimize it so it looks as it should. Okay, so that's building the store. And a lot of people get tripped up on building the store when they're trying to do it themselves, because they think, I'm not technically minded, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. This is a step-by-step tutorial. All of these lessons, I'll show you what to do, where to click, what values to enter. All of that is covered in step-by-step sequence through all those lessons. Okay, so next category, we go through to module 5, which is actually contacting Australian suppliers, and this is a huge one. And now this is something that is just incredibly important when it comes to the Australian market. Now, this is not the same as the rest of the world. In the US especially, a lot of people that actually run their courses, they build this course around their market. And that's not the Australian market. Here in Australia, finding suppliers is completely different. Okay, yes, there are some dropshipping directories that say, we dropship, sign up. We realize that, and we do tell you about those. But you do need a lot of other methods to try and lock in suppliers here in Australia. You're not going to just be able to get online and find a dropshipper for your particular product. It's pretty rare. And you need several suppliers to be able to run an effective business, okay? So that's why we go into this so heavily, all right? So it's contacting suppliers, supplier phone scripts, common outcomes, and actually onboarding suppliers. So if you look down below here, we've even got templates here of what to say when you're reaching out to Australian suppliers. Because a lot of the time, like I said, they won't just drop ship. You'll have to bring them around to your way of thinking and your way of business, And there are methods to do that. I mean, they might not necessarily be adverse to doing a dropshipping model, but they don't advertise it, and they might not have ever thought about doing it that way. So there's ways and methods that we can get around those particular types of suppliers and bring them around to our way of thinking to run it as a dropshipping model. So those these email scripts here, and we do have phone scripts. Those email scripts are invaluable for anybody just starting out, because we've included everything that we know about contacting suppliers in these particular email scripts. So they're very valuable. And also we have phone scripts too, so included in the lesson 2 there, so that when you are contacting them, you have an idea of what you're going to say to these people. All right, so module 5, contacting suppliers, is one of the most important modules, aside from, I would say, niche selection. So, you do your niche selection, that's incredibly important in the research to validate it. But actually contacting the suppliers here in Australia is completely different to the rest of the world. So this module here is very valuable for anyone just starting out and wants to create a dropshipping store here in Australia. So next category is module 6, and that's where we cover free traffic. All right. So when we first started out, we didn't have a lot of money to start driving traffic to our stores. So we had to get creative and start working out different ways to basically bring traffic to our stores without spending a lot of money. So these are the methods that we came up with and we've refined over time. So lesson 1, we talk about Australian Facebook groups. Lesson 2 is actually building your own Facebook groups to drive traffic. We've got an Australian Gumtree strategy to start driving traffic to your store, using Australian platforms like sales platforms and auction sites to drive traffic, and forums in lesson 5. And one of our secret weapons, if you'd like to say, is using OzBargain. We've got a really good method here that actually Clint formulated, and I mean, this drives just mountains of traffic to your store. So it just essentially opens the floodgates of free traffic to your store. But you have to know how to do it correctly. Otherwise, you can really mess this one up. So you'll want to get in the back end here to look at, especially this OzBargain method that Clint has formulated for driving free traffic. This is a really, really powerful one. So through to the next traffic, which is module 7 and my favorite, which is Facebook ads. I've spent quite a bit of time over the last few years looking at Facebook ads and how to develop successful campaigns, and utilizing all the retargeting on Facebook too. So we have quite a few lessons here, so I'm not going to go through every single one. But as you can see, I've got so many lessons here. I think there's about 19 lessons on Facebook ads. And look, I've set them up in the same way as I did the store build. So it's in a sequence to get you to the point where you know what you're doing at the end. So it starts obviously understanding Business Manager, setting it up, accessing it, and then adding the people, pages, and ad accounts, winning with Facebook ads, what are campaigns, ads, and ad sets, and how to build them, the Facebook pixel, schema, and macro data. It goes through to bottom of funnel retargeting. And these are all done in a sequence so that you understand the basics right through to adding, assets, so people and pages, winning with Facebook ads, like a bit more, I guess you'd call it theory on why Facebook works the way it works and how to make it win, how to make your ads win, and right through to actually building out the campaigns, etc., and the pixel, doing all of your retargeting and naming conventions, which people won't really know about until they get into a huge mess in the back end of their business manager. Naming conventions are super important to stop that from happening. But essentially, look, all of these lessons, I show you step by step where to click, what to do, and how to find your audiences on Facebook as well. So look, even here on lesson 13 as an example, warm and hot audiences. In here, I actually show you in a step-by-step process how to find audiences that are going to resonate with your specific products. Okay, this is not going to just be a general high overview of how to create an ad and how to do a campaign. We give you actual tactics on how to narrow down audiences that will resonate with your particular niche. All right, so that's how we structured this Facebook training. Lookalike audiences, that all comes under that too, finding people that are going to resonate with your niche, right through to this testing section. So at the back end of this testing section, you're going to find out basically exactly what creative works. Pictures, images, videos, all of those sorts of things. What hooks and offers resonate with your particular niche. What copy, what headlines, what call to actions, what links, all of those sorts of things. We're going to narrow those down in all of this testing phase to a laser targeted ad that resonates with your niche and it will convert. All right, so that's why I've put in so many lessons here with Facebook, because it can be confusing if you're just getting started. So I've done it from absolute beginner and taking you right through to the very end, where you've got a laser targeted high converting ad that works. Okay, so that's Facebook ads, and you can see that there's quite a bit in that. So next category, we go through to module 8, which is Google ads. And Google ads are incredibly powerful, and you've probably heard us speak about this in the past in some of our other content. And we use Google ads because it's so people that are using Google and they're clicking on Google ads, they're so highly qualified, because a lot of people, when they're going to Google, they're searching for things to buy. I mean, when they type in I want to buy a dining table, and it's quite often, and when they're clicking on those ads and those Google shopping ads, that they're actually looking to buy it. It's not so much just a research tool. Whereas on Facebook, it can be the fact that they're just scrolling along and they've seen an ad about a dining table and they click on it. Maybe a little bit of just because they like the look of it. Research, not quite as powerful when it comes to buying. So that's why we recommend Google ads first. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, the previous module in Facebook is very powerful, and I enjoy doing Facebook ads a lot, and we get results, and we use both. But the lower hanging fruit is using Google ads. So we always recommend people start with Google ads. And in this module, we show you how to get started with Google ads, setting them up, setting up your Google shopping, and setting up Google AdWords campaigns as well. So we do the full step-by-step tutorials here as well. When we go through setting up all of these Google shopping and AdWords and all the rest of it. As you can see, these lessons aren't short. I mean, this is a 25-minute lesson here showing you how to set up your Google shopping. Okay, so next category. Come through to other paid traffic. So there obviously are the two main ones, which are Google and Facebook, which you drive traffic, but there are other paid traffic as well. So we use other paid traffic for our retargeting. We use influencer marketing and ads as well. Also, Gumtree and Trading Post have paid ads, which we also utilize as well. And we go through all of these in sequence to show you how you can use those too. Next module is module 10, which is basic on-site SEO. Now, look, we really focus on offense, which is basically going out and putting ads in front of people and getting them to our website that's highly converting and making sales. All right. SEO is it is important, and that's why we have included a basic lesson here on on-site SEO, so that you can start to begin to rank organically. We just don't focus on it heavily. We focus more on offense and getting people to our site through paid advertising and free methods to our highly converting website to make sales. That's just us. That's our strategy. But we do cover on-site SEO. And next category is module 11, which is going live, and a lot of things that you do need to make sure are done right and correct, and doing all the essential checks to make sure that things are going to function properly when you do go live, and that way you won't get stuck when you get to a whole heap of customers coming to your store through paid traffic. I mean, you don't want to waste that money if things are broken and they're not working. So going live, this is essentially a bit of a site audit and things that you need to go through to make sure everything is done right. Okay, so next category and the last one is moving forward. And this is really covering a lot of things that will come up when you start to move forward from getting your store live and running traffic to it. These are all the things that you'll want to start to look at after that point. So this really takes you forward into your dropshipping journey after you've got it all set up. All right, so lesson 1 is email marketing. Very important, and I'm not going to delve too deep into that. Everyone is well aware that email marketing is important in this day and age. Going through to lesson 2, which is creating an authority blog. Outsourcing, so we touch on how to outsource some of the functions of your business. We go into mindset, and look, we do touch on this a little bit. I think it's incredibly important, and I would like to expand this section a little bit more in the future, because I believe that people that have the right mindset are the ones that make it in this business. And I've noticed that with out of the hundreds of students that have gone through our course, I noticed that the ones that have the mindset that we talk about and that I'm thinking of are the ones that actually go through and make it and make sales and have successful dropshipping businesses and actually end up living the lifestyle that they want to live. So mindset's important. And then we cover some useful tools, resources, and obviously some of our services as well. Right, so I mean, it's all good for me to go through the course here and tell you all about it and show you the modules, but what are other people saying about it? What are our students saying about it? People that have done the course. How about we look at some of the reviews? Okay, so here's what some people are saying. Josh Cooper, he went through the Dropship Downunder course, got a store going, and it's doing pretty good, making a few sales a week. We've got Ashley from Willoughby, so he bought an online website with no idea what to do with it. And he was stuck at a standstill until he purchased the Dropship Downunder course. So this course has helped a huge amount. Without it, I wouldn't have an online business now, and tells you in depth, honestly, everything that you need to know about getting an online business started. I launched mine on social media today, and I'm starting to get my first sales. I can't thank you guys enough. Jody, she mentioned the other day that she's just got her first $365 sale. Super excited and can't believe that I got a sale so quick, and says I'm looking forward to the next one. Mick from Sydney, he's signed up for the Dropship Downunder course and has found the content to be excellent, and I have really enjoyed the program. It has taught me everything I need to know about dropshipping, getting a dropshipping store up and running in Australia, and really happy I signed up. So Kate from Sydney says the DSD course was a terrific resource in easy to understand plain language. I highly recommend it to anyone wanting to establish a dropshipping site in Australia. Lionel, he said the other day from the store he got from us, since he bought that, he's been working very hard to make it his own. So he's sort of taken a little bit of a shortcut by getting the store from us. However, he's followed the DSD course to the letter after that. And lo and behold, 72 hours after some basic paid traffic, his first high ticket sale rolls in. So Ali from Granville in Sydney, he says, Clinton Grant are the real deal. I bought the Dropship Downunder course hoping to make a few bucks online, but now he's been able to quit his second job. So obviously he's been able to generate enough income from this dropshipping business to quit that second job and obviously start spending some more time doing what he wants to do. All right, so that is the Dropship Downunder course as a whole. You've done the walkthrough, that's what's in the course, and obviously I've only just brushed the surface of the modules, skimmed over the lessons, so you can just see how in depth the Dropship Downunder 2.0 course really is. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you ever wanted to start a dropshipping business right here in Australia, there has never been a better time. You know, the Dropship Downunder course, this is the 2.0 version, so we've actually made this so much better than the first time, and it covers, like you've seen inside, all the modules that will cover every single part of the business. You won't be left stuck on anything, all right? Now, we've got a good community as well. Inside of our community, we're always willing to help each other and help our students. All of the communities, the students are always there to help each other. They're always willing to help each other. You'll see it in the Facebook groups. And people are going back and forth, giving each other ideas, and we're also here for support as well. That's it for today. I hope you got a bit of value out of seeing the back end of the course and seeing what's in it and seeing what we actually provide you in the course. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I can't wait for you guys to be part of our community. Cheers.